our subject today is talking about harnessing the power of the miracle question. So what is the miracle question?
All right. So the miracle question is a super fun tool. I learned this way back in graduate school, like a while ago, and it stuck with me ever since. And I use it. It's just a fun way to kind of find out what you truly yearn for. So it's a tool that was developed in solution-focused therapy, and it helps you kind of center in, find out your yearnings, your true heart desire. If everything was just how you wanted to be, what would fulfilled look like? And it gives you a tool to kind of jump into that world.
So are you saying that the miracle question is different for different people?
How you answer it will be different, for sure. Each of us will answer it differently because my miracle is not your miracle, right? So my fulfillment is different than yours. And no right or wrong, it's just what works for me.
It's just like what you are actually searching for, right? So what are you thinking to achieve, or what are the things that you are really looking for in your life, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And sometimes we don't let ourselves dream big. We don't let ourselves think on that kind of a level because our fear or insecure side pops in. It's like, no, you can't do that. No, not for you. No, you have no worth. Right. Mm-hmm. So we kind of bypass that, jump right into our intuitive knowing.
Yeah, absolutely. So like lots of times we just feel like, those are, feel like we, like you said, we don't dare to really ask for things that are, because we feel like we already defeated ourselves, even not dare to ask, So can you give us some examples of like miracle questions, for example?
Yeah. Let's walk through it. All right. So if I was walking through a client or anybody else or you right here, I would just encourage you to close your eyes if you're comfortable, or just kind of get a soft gaze. Take a couple of deep breaths. Yeah, really centering in, grounding in, taking a moment, getting out of the busy and centering in. Good. And after we talked here today, if you went about your rest of your business, you finished the dishes, you did your chores, you checked in with family, did whatever, you went to the gym, ate some good, healthy, whole food, right? Did some good stuff, nurtured your body. And then you went to sleep regular. It's all fine. Mm-hmm. And you slept through the night. All fine. Yeah. And you wake up the next morning. Things are different. Things are different. So different. Then you're like, a miracle must have occurred. Everything is so different now. And then we say, what's different? What's different? What's different in that image when a miracle has occurred for you? What do you see? What's around you? How do you feel? How do you speak? How do you know things are so different? What's happening here that's not happening here? Right? So you can see so much data is in here of what does that miracle look like for you? So how do you know things are different? How do you know this miracle has occurred? And that's the fruit. That's the gold, right? Is that making sense, Sharon?
Yeah, so why do you think that happened? I mean, what was the difference between yesterday and today I woke up? Because
so what might be some examples?
Focusing on yourself, or why you think that happened?
Why do I think it happens that I get more insight?
Mm-hmm. No, why you think that so what did you exactly do to get into that moment of realizing your own miracle question?
Really just the centering, the quieting, the grounding, the slowing down. We stop that monkey chatter of our fear and insecure side. No, I can't do it. Yeah, right. And we just get quiet and we just check in with our own. We have our inner knowing. We know what we yearn for and what our true heart desire is. And this lets us just kind of bypass all the naysaying that we might bring up for ourselves and really hone in on what that would look like.
So it's more like you are normally we just kind of like autopilot, right? We get distracted by things happening every day in our life. So we rarely just sit down, be quiet, really go inward, really ask ourselves about the things that really matter to us, right? So that's the difference there.
Right. And it's scary, right? Because what if I put out there that this is what I really yearn for, and I don't know how to get it? And I'm over here. So it's scary to ask if we don't have the tools or the support, or how will I make it happen, right? So this is a really nice tool to use on the growth journey as we're accumulating other tools, other resources, so that I can, this is my North Star. The miracle question gives me my North Star. It starts my map of where I want to go. And I know where I am now, feeling kind of icky or distressed or not so hot. And so I know where I am, and I know where I want to go. Oh, all right, let's just make a map. Let's go. We got that now, right? So it gives me somewhere to go towards. And then I develop the specific skills to get me on that map all the way up to where I want to go, which is ultimately higher quality of life, right? We're all looking for higher quality of life in some shape or form. And so this helps you figure out what is yours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So while we figure out our miracle questions, and how do we use that miracle question?
Good. So say in the answer, somebody said, well, I'm less angry. Okay, so you're less angry. What do you have more of? Well, I have more calm, and I'm talking more directly. Okay, so I'm here and I have an assertive voice, and I have an inner sense of calm. Okay, we can definitely start creating tools to help you get a more assertive voice, and doing some mindfulness training, doing some meditation, doing some yoga, bringing in the holistic approach to get what you yearn for, right? That's just skill building and insight. Once we have the insight, we have all this data, and then I can help you learn your assertive voice, speak from your truth, recovery from codependency, whatever it'll be to help you get where you want to go.
So you help your clients sort of like develop some tools, develop some action steps to help them to achieve the whatever the miracle question or miracle calling.
Right, what that data yields. I'm all about it's super important to unpack our past, but traditionally we really focus on a pathology, like what's wrong with you. Right? And this is not that. This is, what do you yearn for? What do you want? How can you create it? It's very strengths oriented, solution focused. And that's all about what I'm doing with my clients. I'm an empowerment therapist, and I'm all about helping them learn new tools, new skills, because we're all doing the best we can with the skills we have in a given moment.
Yeah.
If I don't have higher quality of life right now, I want to strengthen those skills. Right? So we do a lot of talking in my sessions, but you can ask my folks. We do a lot of teaching and learning, because I want to learn something new lens, new worldview, so then I can apply it and get my miracle. I am my own miracle, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, for example, if I ask myself, what's my miracle question? If I, because I noticed, like, also clients that I work with, or friends and family, lots of times I noticed that, like, especially for women, lots of times we just really lack of this self-worthy, like, we so compassionate. We are a group of people that are very, very compassionate. So we give ourselves so much to others, and we just don't have that kind of power that to ask for more for ourselves. So ending up burn out and, like, very upset, judged by other people, disappointed by other people, and defeated and self-doubt, and ended up like goes into this very negative mindset. So how you help clients like that to gain power for themselves, like feel like self-worthy, and really dare to go out there and ask for things that can empower them. I mean, how you switch that mindset for them.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge, switching that mindset. One, a lot of what you're talking about is, I term recovery from codependency. I work with almost everybody on recovery from codependency in terms of I'm not having my mood and my needs dependent on your moods and your needs, right? And I really teach that looking out for self is not the same as selfish. It's not.
Right.
When I put myself first and I take care of my needs and fill up my being, it's like an umbrella, a raincoat. I have it to give everybody underneath me, you and clients and work and animals, everything, community. But when I put work, kids, clients, everybody else, and I'm way down here, got nothing to give. Got nothing to give. Doesn't go up, right? So I really teach how do we put ourselves first, right? And then how do we put ourselves first? How do I talk to myself? What's my self-talk? If I'm showing up and shaming myself and judging myself and criticizing myself, I'm not going to soar. I'm not going to feel good enough about myself. I'm not going to know my worth and value.
Right.
So we start really changing that self-talk. We unpack where it came from, why you learn those distorted messages, and then we really start changing that self-talk. I am worthy. I am enough. I got it going on. Really owning all that we are. And it's really a retraining. We're retraining the brain because we are so habituated. We have so many habitual negative thoughts. I'm not worthy. Everybody else is more important than me. My needs are not important. They're just ingrained culturally, familially, socially. They just kind of get ingrained in us. You're right.
Yeah.
And
so
until we see it, it doesn't work.
Other people always like, we think that if people around us are happy, I feel like I'm worthy because of me, they feel happy, right? So it's like always, like you said, codependent on other people. And that is the most unreliable things because we cannot really depending on other people to provide us the things that we truly need for ourselves.
Because I can't control you. Right? My feelings, my thoughts, my responsibility. Your feelings, your thoughts, your responsibility. Right? So I can't have you making me feel good. Because what if you're having a bad day? Then I don't get to feel good. What if I don't do it just like you need it? I don't get to feel good, right? It's like I caught a bottle with a cork out of the bottom. If I'm relying on you to make me feel good, right out the bottom.
Yeah, and then if anything happens, if we, it's just like if you rely on other people, it's something is totally out of your control, right? So like most of the time that you will get disappointed or you will get upset, and then, it's just like it's something like we were talking about at the very beginning, that it needs to come from within. It's not like going out there, grab something, get a hold, think about it, you get hold to that thing to make you feel worthy, make you feel happy or content, right?
Right. We're all worthy. We're humans. We all have equal worth and value. And if anybody listening can hear just that, we all have equal worth and value. I came out of my family of origin with wounds, which had me doubting myself, my worth, my value. But I have it. And the reason I got wounded is because my families of origin were wounded and they couldn't give me healthy love if they didn't have it to give. Right? So it's really just understanding all that and where it comes from and then how it's impacting me today. And if it's where I want to get to, that North Star. And if not, what do I need to do to get myself there? I have the power. I have the power. You have the power for you.
Yeah.
I have the power for me.
Yeah. So besides like self-talk, like positive self-talk, like I'm worthy, I'm great, what are other things that you teach your clients that can really help them to build the confidence?
Something I've really been emphasizing the last bunch of years, stick with me. I break it down into two senses of self, right? We all have two senses of self. Prior to doing work together, you probably only know the one. And the one is your fear or insecure side, right? I can't do it. I don't have worth. I don't have value. No, I'm scared. Right? That side, we probably all know it. You suck. You didn't do that right. You're the negative self-talk tripping away. So we understand that. We unpack that. And then what I do is I help my clients develop their authentic self. I know my worth. I know my value. I understand that I got wounded in my family of origin. And it shows up in me this way. And this is where I'm at today. And you can hear my voice is calm, it's compassionate, it's back on self. That's how I know my authentic side is driving. And so when you say, what else do you do? I teach my clients how to show up from their authentic self and take care of their fear side. And then what I do is I get a great big old loving hug from myself to myself. I teach my clients how to show up to themselves with love and compassion. Mm-hmm. Typically, we're walking around shaming ourselves, beating ourselves down, like criticizing and wondering, why are we feeling so lousy? Well, did you listen to yourself? It makes a difference. It makes a difference how we show up to ourselves. Message self to self.
Yeah, it's also it's our nature. This is how we wired, because all our, like, majority of our thoughts and fly by every day, it's our negative thoughts. We are wired in that way. So if we don't really pay attention to that, we just let our thoughts overwhelm us, and then they're just, most of the times we'll get like really negative kind of
shame spiral, negative spiral. Yeah, for sure. And you know why? Because when I teach about this insecure fear side, they're here to protect and defend. This is my old reptilian brain, fight, flight, or freeze. I'm scared, right? So this negative self-talk is super misguided attempts by my old brain to protect me. Don't risk, you won't get hurt. Don't put yourself out there, you won't get disappointed. Don't hope, it'll get dashed. It's trying to protect me, but it's misguided, because you know what? My authentic side, I can handle my business. Mm-hmm. I can make sense of fear. I can handle disappointment. I can check in with the thoughts underneath the feeling and reframe the thought and change it. I have tools at my disposal. Mm-hmm. Right? So I don't have to live in, but you're right, it's very ingrained. But what's wrong is people believe it's the truth. Mm-hmm. Not the truth. It's not the truth. It's just habit. It's just habit. Thoughts became habit, and that's it. So we unwire that habit. We create new habit through repetition and consistency. We build new muscle memory. Oh, we're on the way to our miracle.
Yeah.
Because our authentic side is driving more and more often.
Mm-hmm. So it starts with changing your story. Starts with change your story about yourself, and then develop some kind of develop some tools, some action plan steps, and help you to support that change, right? But
the new narrative. Yeah, changing your storyline. We're making up stories all the time because we make up stories to make meaning of things we don't understand.
Absolutely.
And so we get to change that story. The story that I made up as a little kid in a wounding family, mm-hmm. I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, that's my fault, too much.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't have to hold that storyline.
Yeah, I think if we want to, it's like it's so important to break the habits of ourselves. So if we want to achieve, like for example, from the past of all my life, that I have done everything that I could, and this is where I'm at. If I'm not happy with where I'm at now, if I want to do something greater, I want to do something more amazing, and then I have to do something differently, right? If you stick to your own habits, and then you are going to end it up exactly where you are now, or even worse. But if you want something greater, and you have to kind of like question those habits and rewire everything, and then to help yourself to get to a different place than that you are really aiming at.
Oh yeah, neurologically, we have to change the neurological connections, right? And there's a lot of work that has to happen in there. And the best predictor of future is past without an intervention, right? So what you're saying is, yeah, we need an intervention. If I want different results, I have to show up and do differently than I've done before to get different results. It's in the doing.
Right.
Whether it's doing with thoughts or doing with eating or doing with exercise or doing with action, doing with spirit, whatever, it's the doing.
Yeah, so they started the doing the action plans, but I think also very, very challenging part is consistency, right? So how you can really carry that on. Maybe like you had, like your client had a nice talk with you yesterday. So she all charged up, want to do something different, and they're so encouraged. And then how to really carry on that kind of spirit that really make things happen and really make things different. I think that is also very challenging part.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I teach folks in terms of, we set SMART goals. I don't know if you're familiar, but right. So specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, time-limited. So I want to get in better shape. Probably not going to happen.
Right.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 for a half hour. I'm on the treadmill for the next 2 weeks. Oh, much more likely you're going to go do that. I know where I am. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I know how long I'm doing it. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to reevaluate. We're going to collect our data, see how it went, tweak, change, put a new SMART goal in place. So I like structure. I like structure. So I would set a SMART goal with them. And that's why, they'd come. A lot of my work is motivation and accountability. Because then you come back in, I'm like, oh, how'd the SMART goal go? What do we do? And then I'm motivating us for that change journey.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part is you really come out with the detailed plan and then stick to it and just one day at a time and step by step and really carry it on, right? So especially changing habits, it really takes a lot. It's not going to be overnight, and people get discouraged if they don't see the results after 2 days, after 1 week. They get discouraged. They think, okay, this is not working for me. Same like I work with the clients, help them to lose weight or whatever mental health they're struggling with. It's like we come on some plans. If they don't see the results overnight, then they get discouraged. Oh, maybe I need to try something differently. It's but they don't understand it. It really takes a lot to change somebody's habits, right? So if be very stick to it and knowing what you want and knowing how to get there. But the most important thing is stick to the plan and do it one day at a time, but do it consistently. So carry on, and you will get there. You will start seeing the results. After a while, after changing habits normally happens after 2 weeks, right? Then you will start those. Even people with the food, if I introduce new foods, healthier foods to my clients, in the beginning, it's very difficult for them because they used to eat
the palate. It's foreign to their palate, for sure.
Even physically, they will feel sick because something different, right? Because they are not eating the foods they have been eating throughout their whole life. So their body actually wired to use it to the old diet. And then if you try something different, your body is screaming no, this is not what I'm used to. This is not what I'm comfortable with. So they feel sick. But the most important thing is really understanding you want to do something differently. You want to improve your health. So stick to the new plan and give it the time, at least 2 weeks, and then you will start seeing the change, start seeing the good results. And then you'll get encouraged, and it will be easier because your body, your mind start getting used to the new things, and it will be easier. It goes faster. Yeah,
definitely. And often it's almost like a minimum of 3 weeks to kind of really ingrain muscle memory in terms of it's that 21 days. And I won't get into the neurologic part of it all, but it's just very fascinating. It's just we're literally creating new habitual thoughts, new neurological connections, and it takes time. Takes time, right? So I teach my clients effort in, results out, right? And if say I'm on my plan and I'm showing up one day at a time and I'm putting the effort in and it still goes left, okay, what happened there? Let's get an air of curiosity, right? So you're like, if your clients are, I can't do it, never mind, not even worth it. No. I'm all about an air of curiosity. What was going on for me there that I went left? What was going on for me that I grabbed those chips instead of going for that walk with that orange? What was happening for me? Let me get curious about that. So again, all learning, all growth. I'm just going to learn what had me going left if I want to go right. Okay, let's figure that out. Yeah, but it's definitely muscle memory. Our brain is just another muscle, right? So just like if I'm going to the gym and I want to build up the arm, I got to keep doing the motions. So same thing, if I want to change my thoughts, if I want to change into this new way of being, keep showing up. And knowing that if anything in my comfort zone, I'm good at. If I'm a smoker, smoking. If I'm a runner, running. So it doesn't mean it's not good or bad. It's just I'm comfortable doing it, so it's in my comfort zone. All this that we're talking about is outside of the comfort zone, right? It's a stretch. I got to stretch out there. Well, look, this is a little uncomfortable. I'm out of my comfort zone. It's going to be uncomfortable. So also reminding your clients in that 21 days, we're looking for uncomfortable. That means we're doing different than we did before.
That means we're doing something good because, we are we are really break the habits that we have before, you know.
And then we get to be proud of ourselves. Good job, me. Yay, me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely, I totally
Yeah.
agree with you. Wow, this has been really wonderful.
It was so fun. It was so fun connecting with you. Truly.
Yeah, same
Truly.
here. Same here.
Yeah.
Good. So, how people can follow you if they want to connect with you?
Yeah, check me out, Kim Saft Therapy. They can find me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, Kim Saft Therapy. They can get my website. All this stuff is all over. And truly, you can see I get all jazzed, right?
I know. I love your spirit and energy. I'm like, I want to be your client. I feel like you.
Come on in. Come on in. I love it. I just get so excited. Making change happen I love it. So I'm thrilled to talk about it anytime.